You've got dreams, you've got goals, but let me ask you, how much time do you spend truly visualizing the life you want? Not just casually thinking about it, but really imagining it, feeling it, seeing it in your mind, living it. Your imagination is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. Imagination is everything. It's the spark that starts everything you see in the world around you. From the smallest invention to the largest skyscraper, everything you experience started as a thought, an idea, a vision in someone's mind. Your imagination has the power to create your reality. Imagination is the very foundation of everything we create in life. Before anything tangible exists, it first takes root as a thought, an idea, or a vision in someone's mind. Think about it. Every building, every piece of technology, every business and every relationship started as an idea long before it became a reality. Imagination is the first step toward creation, and without it, nothing would exist. It's where all possibilities begin. When you sit down and picture your dream life or your ideal future, you're essentially laying down the blueprints for what can become real. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a powerful tool that sets the stage for everything that will unfold. The power of imagination goes beyond just dreaming of something. It allows you to visualize the life you want to create with clarity and detail. When you imagine your future, you're not just asking the universe for something vague like, I want to be successful. Instead, you are creating a roadmap. You can see yourself walking through your dream home, feeling the joy of your dream job, or experiencing the love of a fulfilling relationship. The more specific and vivid you make this vision, the clearer the path becomes. Your imagination helps you refine your goals and map out the steps to achieve them. It's like seeing the destination before you even get in the car, which makes the journey more intentional and directed. What most people don't realize is that this vision you create in your mind acts as a powerful magnet for the actions you will take. When you see something clearly in your mind, it becomes real to you. It feels like a part of your future. And once it feels real, it's much easier to align your actions with it. This is why imagination is so important. It shapes how you see the world and your place in it. It makes the steps toward your goals seem achievable and worthwhile because you've already seen it unfold in your mind. You've rehearsed the success, the challenges, and the rewards long before they appear in your physical world. Imagination is not just a tool for daydreaming. It's an active process of creation. As you imagine, you start to feel what achieving your goals will be like. You begin to align your emotions, your thoughts, and your energy with that vision. This emotional connection to your dreams is crucial because emotions are what propel us into action. When you feel the excitement of your vision in your body and heart, it drives you to take the next step, even when things get tough. You're not just motivated by a vague idea. You're inspired by the powerful emotional connection that has been formed through your imagination. Your imagination gives you the fuel to keep going, even when the reality doesn't match the vision just yet. But here's the truth. Imagination is only the first step. It's essential, yes, but it's just the beginning. If you never take action on your imagination, it stays trapped in your mind. This is where so many people fall short. They have the vision, the ideas, and the dreams, but they fail to take the necessary steps to make them happen. The world is full of dreamers, but only those who turn their imagination into action create the life they envision. It's not enough to simply imagine success. You have to take the first step toward it. Once you visualize your dream, take that vision and use it to guide your actions, no matter how small. The more you act on your imagination, the closer you get to making it a reality. One of the most fascinating and powerful aspects of the mind is its inability to differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. When you vividly imagine yourself in a particular situation, whether it's standing on stage, receiving an award, closing a business deal, or simply living your dream life, your brain responds as though that event is actually happening. The neurons in your brain fire in the same patterns as if the experience were occurring in the physical world. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. This is the key to understanding how imagination works as a tool to transform your life. It means that every time you visualize your success, your brain is already preparing you for the reality of that success, making you more likely to take the actions that will bring it into your life. This concept goes beyond just positive thinking. It's the science of neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rewire itself based on new experiences or stimuli. When you repeatedly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain begins to build neural pathways that align with that success. It essentially programs you for achievement. For example, if you imagine yourself confidently giving a speech in front of a large audience, your brain starts creating the connections it would need to perform that task in real life. The more detailed and sensory-rich your imagination is, what you see, feel, hear, and even smell, the more your brain becomes attuned to that experience. You are not just daydreaming, you're rehearsing for the future, preparing your mind and body to act as if that vision is already a part of your reality. This ability to trick your brain into thinking your imagination is real is incredibly powerful when you understand how to use it. It's not about pretending that the life you want is already here, but rather about giving your brain a clear blueprint of what success looks like. Imagine the way athletes use visualization techniques before a big game or performance. They rehearse every move in their mind, the steps, the shots, the strategies. This practice allows them to perform at a higher level when they step onto the field or stage. In the same way, visualizing your goals in detail primes your brain to recognize opportunities and solutions when they arise. By imagining yourself succeeding, you essentially set up your mind to act in accordance with your dream. The mind's inability to tell the difference between reality and imagination also works in reverse. If you continually imagine failure, frustration, or fear, your brain will respond as though those scenarios are likely outcomes. If you focus on the what ifs and the what could go wrongs, your mind will start to expect negative results. This means that your imagination isn't neutral. It's either pulling you toward your dreams or pulling you away from them, depending on how you choose to use it. If you're constantly imagining worst-case scenarios, you're wiring your brain to look for problems instead of solutions. Your mind becomes locked in a cycle of negativity and fear. That's why it's so important to consciously use your imagination to focus on the outcomes you desire, rather than what you fear. Your imagination is not just a tool for creating positive visions, but it also affects your emotions and behaviors. What you imagine shapes how you feel about your capabilities, your future, and your potential. When you imagine yourself achieving a goal, you begin to feel the emotions associated with success, pride, excitement, satisfaction. These emotions act as powerful motivators, urging you to take the necessary actions to bring your vision into reality. But when you imagine failure or inadequacy, those feelings of fear and self-doubt can prevent you from even trying. Your mind doesn't need the physical world to be real. Your emotions and beliefs create the momentum to act or not act based on what you imagine. Therefore, the more you can feed your mind with positive, successful visualizations, the more naturally you'll be drawn to taking the actions required to make those dreams a reality. Fear is one of the most common barriers that prevent people from chasing their dreams and realizing their full potential. It's natural to feel fear when you step outside your comfort zone or try something new. But what if you could use your imagination to overcome that fear? Imagination is a tool that allows you to mentally rehearse your success, which in turn helps you build confidence and diminish the grip that fear can have over your actions. When you imagine yourself succeeding, you create a mental picture of a future where fear does not hold you back, and that vision becomes a powerful antidote to the fear that often paralyzes you from taking action. Think about the first time you ever did something that felt intimidating, maybe speaking in front of a group or applying for a job you weren't sure you were qualified for. That feeling of fear or anxiety was very real, and it likely made you hesitant. But what if, before that moment, you had spent time imagining yourself succeeding in that very scenario? What if you had visualized yourself confidently walking up to the podium, delivering your message flawlessly, and receiving applause from the audience? By mentally rehearsing the successful version of the event, you've already given your brain a sense of what it would feel like to succeed. This mental rehearsal reduces the fear response, helping you to stay calm, collected, and empowered in the actual moment. In other words, your imagination helps you prepare emotionally and mentally for success. The reason this works is that your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. When you vividly picture yourself overcoming obstacles or facing your fears head on, your brain begins to treat it as if it's already happened. This gives you a sense of control over situations that may otherwise feel overwhelming. By repeatedly imagining your success, you train your brain to view challenges as opportunities rather than threats. When the real moment arrives, you've already faced the fear in your mind and come out on top. Your imagination serves as a rehearsal, allowing you to work through the fear before it even materializes in real life. Furthermore, imagination provides the space to confront your fears without the immediate consequences of real life. If you're afraid of public speaking, for example, you can use your imagination to simulate the event. Picture yourself walking onto the stage, feeling nervous but pushing through that discomfort. Visualize the audience's positive reaction and see yourself finishing with confidence. This mental rehearsal creates a safe space to experience fear and manage it without the physical risk of actually facing that fear. You can experiment in your mind, fail without consequences, and learn how to respond to fear in a constructive way. Over time, this practice not only builds confidence, but also desensitizes you to the emotional intensity of fear, allowing you to take bold steps in the real world. The more often you use imagination to face your fears, the more you start to build a new pattern of behavior. You begin to see fear as something that can be navigated rather than avoided. When you imagine yourself succeeding, you're not just visualizing a perfect outcome. You're mentally preparing yourself to handle all the ups and downs along the way. You develop resilience and a deeper sense of self-trust because you've already practiced overcoming the obstacles that may arise. This mental preparedness is powerful as it allows you to take action despite fear, making you less likely to freeze or second-guess yourself. Imagination, when used properly, doesn't just ease fear, it actively empowers you to take decisive steps toward the life you want to create, Doc. The more vivid and detailed your imagination, the more power it holds in shaping your reality. Think about it when you close your eyes and imagine yourself living your dream life. Do you see a blurry, distant image, or is it crystal clear? The more you can bring your dreams to life in your mind with vivid details, the sights, sounds, emotions, and even the physical sensations, the more real it becomes to you. This is because your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined scenario and one that's actually happening in real life. The stronger and clearer the picture in your mind, the stronger your belief becomes that it is not just possible, but inevitable. Your belief in your goals and in yourself becomes solidified whatever the clear mental picture you create. A vivid imagination does more than just inspire you. It forms the foundation of your self-belief. When you imagine a successful future with intense detail, your brain begins to associate that mental image with reality. For example, let's say you're imagining yourself closing a big business deal. The clearer the vision you hold, what you wear, who's in the room, how you feel at that moment, the more your mind starts to believe this is something that can truly happen. The mind is a mirror of the images you project into it. So if you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your belief in that success grows stronger, and your actions start to align with the certainty of that success. But it's not just about visualizing an ideal outcome. It's about making the imagined experience feel real to your emotions. Imagine you're sitting in a beautiful office, the kind you've always dreamed of. What does it feel like? How does the chair feel beneath you? What does the sunlight streaming through the window feel like on your skin? When you engage all your senses in the visualization, you're creating a multi-dimensional experience for your brain, making the vision come to life. The more emotionally charged and sensory-rich your imagination is, the deeper the connection your mind has to the reality you want to create. This is why people who vividly imagine their success often feel a rush of excitement, motivation, or even a sense of gratitude before the actual success arrives. They've already connected to it emotionally, and that emotional connection strengthens their belief that they can make it happen. The power of a vivid imagination doesn't stop at belief. It also enhances your ability to recognize opportunities.
When your mind is deeply immersed in a vision, your brain becomes wired to spot the opportunities that align with that vision. For example, if you're imagining yourself leading a successful company, you'll begin to notice opportunities for networking, investment, or skill building that you might have previously overlooked. A clear mental picture primes your brain to see pathways toward your goal, making you more proactive in taking the steps that lead to success. The more specific and vivid your imagination, the more your brain knows exactly what to look for in the real world, helping you act swiftly and confidently when those opportunities appear. However, vivid imagination also impacts your level of resilience. When you can clearly see yourself overcoming challenges and achieving your dreams, it's easier to stay focused and persistent. Life is filled with setbacks and obstacles, but when you've already imagined yourself triumphing over adversity, those challenges lose their power over you. Your belief is fortified by the vividness of your mental imagery, which allows you to push through difficulties. You've seen yourself on the other side of the struggle, and that vision gives you the strength to continue moving forward. The more you engage your imagination in detailed, powerful ways, the more it strengthens your internal belief system, pushing you to keep going no matter what obstacles you face.
So, as you continue your journey toward your dreams, remember this: your imagination is one of the most powerful tools you possess. The clearer, more vivid, and more detailed your vision, the stronger your belief will become, and the more you will align your actions with the life you want to create. You have the ability to see your success in your mind first, and that vision will guide you every step of the way. Imagination is not just a tool for dreaming, it is the blueprint for your future. Don't let fear, doubt, or external circumstances dictate your path. Instead, use your imagination to fuel your belief, to see the possibilities, and to guide you toward the life you deserve. The more you immerse yourself in your dreams, the more you will believe in them. And with that belief comes the power to make them real. The journey may not always be easy, but if you stay connected to that vision, if you continue to imagine and take action toward your goals, nothing can stop you from achieving the extraordinary. Now take a moment to ask yourself, what are you imagining today? And how will you use that vision to move closer to the life you've always wanted? The world is ready for what you have to offer, and the only limit is the one you place on your imagination. So dream big, believe deeply, and start taking the steps to make that imagination a reality. Your future is already in the making, and it starts with the power of your mind. Keep imagining, and let that imagination lead the way.